Islamic geostrategy and multipolar world. What if the future of the world politics is not only being shaped in Washington, Moscow, or Beijing? What if one of the most powerful forces shaping the 21st century is coming from the streets of Cairo, the mountains of Afghanistan, and the politics of Tehran, the resisting movements of the Middle East, and the ideological networks of the Muslim world? For decades, political Islam was viewed mainly through the lens of religion, terrorism, or domestic politics. But today, Islamic political movements are not longer just local actors. They shape alliances, wars, revolution, foreign policies, and global power competition. Tonight, on Global Affairs Tonight, I am Mr. Bravo, and we will investigate one of the most important questions of the modern geopolitics. How are Islamic political movements shaping the new world order? The question remains, what is Islamic geography? It means the use of Islamic identity, political ideology, geography, religious legitimacy, and transnational networks to gain a political influence and strategic power. It is not only about religion, it is about power, it is about territory, it is about alliances, it is about resistance, it is about global influence. The Muslim world holds some of the most important geopolitical locations on earth. It includes major energy corridors, routes, oil reserves, sea lanes, trade corridors, and conflict zones. From the Strait of Hormuz to the Red Sea and Afghanistan to Palestine, from Turkey to North Africa. Islamic geopolitics is deeply connected with the global strategy. In the 21st century, the world is moving from a United States dominated order towards a more multipolar system. China is rising. Russia is reasserting itself. Regional powers such as Iran, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Pakistan are becoming more active. In this changing world, Islamic political movements have found a new space to influence politics. Historical roots of political Islam. Political Islam did not emerge in a vacuum. It grew in response to colonialism, Western intervention, social nationalism, authoritarian rule, poverty, and social inequality. Many Muslim societies experience foreign domination, cultural pressure, weak governance, and economic injustice. In this environment, Islamic movements presented Islam not only as a religion but a complete political and social system. They argued that Islam could provide justice, unity, morality, sovereignty, and resistance against foreign domination. One of the most important examples was the Muslim Brotherhood. Founded in Egypt, it began as a religious and social reform movement but gradually became a political force with having influence beyond Egypt. These movements gained strength because they do not just only give speeches, they build school, hospital, charities, welfare networks, and community organizations where the state failed, they step in. This gave them grassroots legitimacy, and that legitimacy later became the political power. The Iranian Revolution. Political Islam became state's power. The year 1979 changed everything. The Iranian Revolution proved that Islamic ideology could overthrow a Western backed government and create a new state system based on Islamic principles. Before the revolution, Iran was ruled by Shah, who was closely aligned with the United States of America. But growing anger over authoritarian rule, inequality, corruption, and Western influence created revolutionary pressure. Under Ayatollah Khamenei, political Islam became the language of revolution. After the revolution, Iran became an Islamic republic. This transformation not only Iran's domestic politics but also the regional balance of power was transformed and changed. Iran began presenting itself as a defender of Islam, resistance, and anti Western politics. It builds ideological and strategic ties with movements across the Middle East. This alarmed pro Western Gulf states, especially Saudi Arabia and United States of Emirates. They feared that revolutionary political Islam could threaten their own regimes. From that moment, political Islam was no longer only a social movement. It became a state project, and the Middle East entered in a new era of ideological and geopolitical rivalry. Globalization, technology, and Islamic networks. After the Cold War, globalization changed the reach of Islamic political movements. This world became more connected, migration expanded, satellite television grew, internet communication developed, later social media transformed political mobilization. Islamic movements use these tools to spread message across borders. They connected Muslim communities in the Middle East, Europe, South Asia, Africa, and North America. A speech in Cairo could influence audience in London. A conflict in Palestine could mobilize people in Pakistan. A political change in Afghanistan could affect Central Asia, Russia, China, and Iran. This created a new category of non state Islamic actors. They were not formal states, but they could still influence foreign policy, public opinion, security debates, humanitarian work, and regional conflicts. September 11 and the War on Terror. Then become September 11, 2001. The attacks on United States changed global perception of political Islam. Before September 11, Islamic political movements were often studied through domestic politics, religious revival, governance, and regional ideology. After September 11, political Islam became strongly linked in global discourse with terrorism, extremism, and violent militancy. The United States of America launched the War on Terror. Military operation began in Afghanistan 2001. Iraq was invaded in 2003. Counter-terrorism law expanded across the world. Intelligence cooperation increased. Surveillance system became stronger. Border security tightened. Between 2 decades, 2001 to 2021, the United States of America spent more than $8 trillion on war and counter-terrorism operations. But here is the important point. Despite the enormous military campaign, Islamic political movement did not disappear. Some militant organizations were weakened, but new groups emerged. Non-violent Islamic movement adopt through election, social activism, welfare networks, and local governance. The war on terror proved one thing clearly. Military power alone cannot eliminate political movements rooted in ideology, identity, grievances, and social conditions. The Arab Spring and the rise of Islamic politics. In 2011, the Arab Spring shocked the Middle East. Mass protests challenged authoritarian regime across the Arab world. In Egypt and Tanzania, long-standing rulers were removed, this opening the door of Islamic political movements entered formal politics. In Egypt, the Muslim Brotherhood became the strongest organization, political force after the fall of Hosni Mubarak. In 2011 and 2012 election, it won nearly half of the parliament seats, and later Mohamed Morsi became Egypt's first democratically elected president. In Tanzania, the Ennahda movement became one of the most important political across after the fall of Ben Ali. It participated in election, accepted coalition politics, and helped shape Tanzania transition. These events changed a long-standing assumption. The political Islam is always incompatible with the democracy. The Arab Spring showed some Islamic movements were willing to participate in election, coalition buildings, and constitutional politics and governance. But the story did not end here. Repression, military power, and limits of Islamic governance. The post Arab Spring period exposed the weakness of Islamic political movements. In Egypt, President Mohammad Morsi was removed by militancy in 2013. This showed that winning election was not enough. Powerful state institutions, the military, judiciary, bureaucracy, intelligence services, and security agencies resisted Islamic control. Regional powers also opposed many Islamic movements because they feared their influence could inspire opposition at home. Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Egypt strongly opposed movements like to the Muslim Brotherhood. The lesson was clear. Islamic movements may win public support, but controlling the state requires more electoral victory. Yet, repression did not erase them. Many survived through mosques, charities, local communities, welfare networks, and religious legitimacy. Political Islam remained alive before it was only part a party system. It was a social base. The ISIS and the dark side of political Islam. Between 2014 and 2019, ISIS brought the global security dimension of political Islam into a sharp focus. Unlike Islamic movements that could, through elections or social services, ISIS represented the violent extremist side of political Islam. At its heights, ISIS controlled about 80,000 square miles in Iraq and Syria. It controlled cities, oil fields, roads, and border crossing. It earns money through oil smuggling, taxation, extortion, kidnapping, and local economic control. It attracts more than 40,000 foreign fighters from all over 100 countries. ISIS also mastered digital propaganda. It used videos, online magazines, cryptid platforms, and social media to recruit followers globally. This showed how technology could transform ideological warfare. ISIS was not just a militant organization, it was a territorial actor, financial actor, ideological actor, and digital actor. Its rise proved that extremism, Islamic movements could affect global security, foreign intervention, intelligence cooperation, and military strategy. But it also showed that political Islam is not one thing. Some groups participated in election, some provide welfare, some engage in resistance, and some became militants, and some became transnational security threat. The Taliban return and the failure of Western intervention. In 2011, the Taliban returned to power in Afghanistan. After 20 years of war, exile, insurgency, the Taliban regained control of Afghan state. This was one of the most dramatic geopolitical events of the 21st century. It changed the security calculation of Pakistan, India, Iran, Russia, and Central Asian states. Pakistan faced both opportunities and challenges. China worried about regional security, connectivity, and extremism. Iran focused on border security, refugees, and influences. Russia and Central Asian states feared instability spreading northward. The Taliban's return also raised a major question. Can Western military intervention successfully remove societies? After the 20 years, trillions of dollars, and massive military operations, the Western backed Afghan state collapsed quickly. This revival global debates about interventions, state building, sovereignty, and Islamic governance. The Taliban comeback proved that Islamic political movements can survive military pressure and return as governing actors. Regional rivalries and Islamic political alliances. Islamic political movements are now deeply connected with regional political competition. Turkey and Qatar have often supported engaged with various Islamic movements to increase regional influence. Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates and Egypt have generally opposed many political Islamic movements, especially those linked to the Muslim Brotherhood. The question remains why? Because they see political Islam as a threat to regime stability. Iran follows a different strategy. It builds ties with Shiite political forces and armed groups in Lebanon, Iraq, Syria, and Yemen. This allows Iran to project influence beyond its border and compete with a rival regional power. So, Islamic movements are not simply religious groups. They are part of the struggle for leadership, influence, security, and strategic control. They are used by states. They are also use states. This is the complex reality of Islamic geostrategy. The United States, Russia, and China, major global powers, view Islamic geopolitics through different lenses. For United States of America, political Islam has been led to counterterrorism, military intervention, energy security, and Middle East stability. American policy often focused on terrorism, alliances, oil routes, and security partnerships. For Russia, Islamic movements are viewed mainly through regional stability and internal security. Moscow is especially concerned about South Asia, Chechnya, and Syria. At the same time, Russia has built strategic relations with the several Muslim majority countries to expand its influence. For China, Muslim majority regions are important for trade, energy, infrastructure, and Belt and Road Initiative. China also worries about separatism and extremism in Xinjiang province. So, Islamic geopolitics now affects the policies of all major powers. It shapes security strategies, it shapes economic corridors, it shapes alliances, and yes, it shapes the global balance of power. Now, the main question emerges why Islamic movements still gain support. Islamic political movements continue to gain support because many Muslim majority societies face serious problems: youth unemployment, economic inequality, weak governance, corruption, authoritarian rule, foreign intervention, identical crisis. Where governments fail, Islamic movements steps in. They provide charity, schools, clinics, disaster relief, religious leadership, and of course, social welfare. This gives them legitimacy. For many ordinary people, these movements are not abstract ideologies. They are the organization that provides help when the state is absent. This is why they survive repression. That is why they adapt. That is why they remain relevant always and every time. Political Islam in Pakistan, Iran, Turkey, and Egypt. Let's look at the four important cases. In Pakistan, Islamic parties and movements influence national identity, constitutional debates, Afghanistan policy, Kashmir, Palestine, and relation with Muslim world. They may not always dominate election, but they influence political opinion and political discourse. In Iran, political Islam is the foundation of state itself. The Islamic Revolution creates a system where religion, law, ideology, and state power are deeply connected. In Turkey, the Justice and Development Party brought Islamic identity, Ottoman memory, strategic autonomy, and regional leadership into foreign policy. In Egypt, the Muslim Brotherhood showed both the strength and the vulnerability of Islamic policies and politics. It became a major political force but faced strong resistance from the military and security institutions. Together, these cases show that political Islam affects governance, identity, security, alliances, and yes, the foreign policy. The Islamic geostrategy and the New World Order. The world is changing. The age of unquestioning Western dominance is weakening. Multipolarity is rising. China is expanding. Russia is challenging Western influence. Regional powers are becoming more independent. In this environment, Islamic political movements may gain new opportunities. They may engage with non Western powers. They may shape regional alliances. They may influence public opinion. They may become partners, rival, or threats depending on the context. This is why Islamic geostrategy matters. It helps explain how Islamic ideology, political ideology, geography, and power interact in this modern world. Future possibilities. The future of Islamic political movements will not be uniform. Some may become democratic political actors. Some may remain social movements. Some may focus on welfare and education, and some may engage in resistant politics. Some may be securitized by state. Some may radicalize under repression and conflict. Their future will depend on several factors. How state respond to them, how regional conflicts develop, how economic corridors change, how young population are mobilized, how global power engage with the Muslim world, how technology shapes ideology, and of course, how multipolarity opens new political spaces. One thing is clear, Islamic political movements will remain important in the 21st century. They will continue shaping regional security, ideological debates, foreign policy, alliances, and global power. Far too long, political Islam has been reviewed through narrow categories like terrorism, extremism, religion, domestic politics. But the reality is far more complex. The Islamic political movements are social actors, ideological actors, security actors, diplomatic actors, and geopolitical actors. They can change states, they can support states, they can govern, they can resist, they can mobilize millions, and they can reshape regions. And in the world of moving towards multipolarity, their importance will only grow. To understand the future of global politics, we must understand Islamic geostrategy, because the next phase of the world order will not shape only by great powers. It will be shaped by ideas, by identity, by movements, and yes, by faith, and by the political forces rising within the Muslim world. This is Dr. Babu for Global Affairs Tonight. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments, and join us next time as we decode the forces shaping the future of the world politics. Stay engaged, stay tuned, and keep watching Global Affairs Tonight. Subscribe.